What's going on, y'all? Hope y'all can hear me. I'll probably check the audio before I upload it. Beard looking rough this morning. Trying to get it so y'all can see me. I ain't blending in one dot. But I'm outside of the back of the hotel on the beach. And I don't know. Trying to see how I feel this morning. And honestly, I don't know how I feel. You can see the water behind me. I really don't know how I'm feeling this morning. You ever felt like that where you didn't know what you was feeling? Or it was a whole bunch of emotions running into each other, colliding, and if somebody asked you, you'll probably start rambling off, going into a million different directions on how you feel. That's how I'm feeling this morning. You say, where do I start off? I would start off by saying, for those that, how can I say this? For anything in the world that you have not experienced, I don't care if it was a certain car that you like, or whatever the case may be, or whatever it could be, a bottle of wine that you've been wanting to try. Until the day that you try it yourself, no matter what anybody tells you, you don't know what it tastes like, what the experience is like, until you experience it. Anybody can tell you what they believe and how they feel about that certain thing, but until you are in it, until you actually experience it, I'm gonna give you from my point of view. I've been watching YouTube videos on Africa for I don't know how long. And no matter what any YouTuber has said on a video, no matter how many videos I've watched, there's nothing like experiencing things firsthand. When I tell y'all firsthand, you got to be in the midst of it. You got to be there. You got to try it. You ever heard somebody tell you like, oh, that movie was trash. Oh, that restaurant was nasty. Or that man, oh, the movie was one of the best movies I've seen this year. Or they'll tell you that restaurant is the best restaurant. That's my go-to restaurant. You try it or you go see that movie and you like, what the was they talking about? What movie? Did they see a different movie? Was the movie playing in reverse when they was watching it? My eyes itching, y'all. So on my end, I say that to say being in Africa versus watching a YouTuber tell me about Africa, baby, It's a whole different vibe. A whole different vibe. And I'm not saying in a bad way, not at all. But what I'm saying is, even if you see something on camera, being on camera and being in person is two different things. Even now that I'm on this beach and I'm talking to y'all, you cannot get the full beauty of this beach through this camera. The camera does not get or reflect the view that I see with my eyes. Africa is a beautiful place. For those that, will be like, well, this happened to African Americans. We were enslaved and brought from the motherland and this and that. And you saying that, shoot, Africa got its own problems. They wasn't left alone. They wasn't, just safe with no issues, no problems. They dealing with their own thing. Believe that. I was talking to a guy last night. He says that average income is $150 American money a month. And I was trying to average it out by hourly, but I remember somebody telling me that it ended up being like close to like $2.40, $2.80 an hour. And I asked him, I say, is that good here? He said, yes. But then on the other side, I see so many foreigners coming over here and buying up land, and they're building resorts similar to this, hotels, apartment buildings. They're doing trading. They're doing import, export. And I look at us as, I don't want to use the regular terms that you normally use when you are talking about you either saying African American, black, Africans, or whatever you want to say. But I'm gonna say it like this: us as a people. We, for the majority of the part, are not being represented in big business. And then when we are most of the time represented in big business, we're not trying to build our own. We're trying to jump on another racist thing of what they doing. Oh, I want to buy an NFL team. I want to buy an NBA team. Instead of saying, you know what? They giving me a hard time. They won't let me in. They blocking this and blocking that. Do like Ice Cube did. Ice Cube went and started his own basketball thing, 3-on-3. And some say that's not. Yes, it is. You're what you're doing is you creating something as a black man for your people. I mean, entertainment is for everybody, but he's standing alone to do that. And that takes courage. Instead of saying, I'm about to go over here and kiss somebody's butt because I want to be a part of what they're doing, instead of creating your own. I asked the guy yesterday, I said, we were talking about the hotel, and he was telling me, I said, it's a Tanzanian guy that was working at the bar that waited on us. And I stayed behind. I told my wife, go to the room. I wanted to just, sit there and kick it with him. and we talked, and I was asking him, I said, what would you say would be the right business to get into? And he said the hotel business. He said, I worked for a guy from, I don't know, I think it was Poland or something like that. He said the guy came over to Africa and, ooh, that water cold, y'all. You got me. He came over to Africa, invested in one hotel, right? Years later, he now owns 4 hotels. Can you imagine how much money this man is raking in? Now, mind you, they're making, not if you really think it's really crazy, it's mad crazy that a foreigner will come over, buy land, and when he buys the land, opens up a business, which is a hotel, then the money that he's making is not coming from the locals, it's coming from tourists coming into Zanzibar. Now this is where he has his hotels. Now, the Africans that are on or from Zanzibar should be the ones making money off tourism. And am I saying he's wrong for coming in there and buying? No, he's not wrong. I mean, excuse me, I don't think there's nothing wrong with anybody going to another country and investing. It's a smart move. But what I'm saying is, when are we going to get to the point where we start investing in our own? You know, you take the Rick Rosses, the Jay-Z's, the Puffies, you go on and on. But I don't see no one coming over here to invest. And I asked him, I said, what do you think would happen if somebody of African descent opened up a hotel and instead of paying you $2.40, $2.80, I gave you a small percentage of the company and paid you twice as much as minimum wage? And his reply was, no. He said what they do is basically they're working not only for a set salary, but also a commission. And the way it sounded to me, this is the way I'm taking it, is that the owner of the hotel shows them a little itty bitty piece of love that they don't even get from their own or another business. And what ends up happening is that African starts to feel like that boss is my friend. So anytime, now this is his words, anytime that the government or anybody else tries to come up against that owner, all employees will stand up and say, no. In other words, they watch out for this guy, and they tell the other people don't bother him. Now, I've heard several times over that from other YouTubers in Africa, and I've seen it, but I haven't seen it. You know, I haven't been looked over for a white person while I've been at a restaurant I haven't been mistreated or downplayed when a white person is around. But a lot of them talk about how Africans put the white man first and will overlook their own people. And that may be true, and it may happen, and you may have seen it. But like I'm saying, I haven't personally really seen it, even if it happened behind my back and I didn't know. But what I will say is that here, I don't think, I think that happens, but more so if they know that you are from America or another country. In their mind, they believe you got bread. So, and I think too, it's up to you to show them whether you have money or not. And you say, how do you do that? That's by tipping. And once you tip over a certain amount, they start acting different. I noticed that. But that's no different than when me and my wife went to Mexico for our honeymoon. You know, anytime somebody knows that, oh, they're a generous person, this and that or whatever, or they don't know how much they really giving you, they will begin to treat you different. And I don't think that's just another country. I believe that's worldwide. If I walk into a restaurant and I could be a millionaire, but I look like the average Joe, and then Rick Ross walks in, who you think that the service and the people at the restaurant are going to run to? They are going to give him their full attention. They are going to fall over to try to make sure that they give him everything that he needs. I'm going to walk down here, y'all, because I want y'all to see. I don't know if this is a hotel or what, but I want y'all to see the back of this building. See all this property? This is beachfront property. The guy was telling me that the beachfront property in Zanzibar, I think he said 200 meters by 200 meters, something like that, or less, 7 million USD. I said, ooh, I couldn't put skin in the game to begin, even by land, to build a hotel in Zanzibar. But I was trying to tell my wife, like, you know, when you're looking around, some of the things here are very shocking. And then I've heard several times, well, you in a third world country. You know, you really have to take that in, that you're in a third world country. You really have to take it in that they only make this much or much. You really have to take it in that they are way behind the United States and this and that. And for damn near every situation that's going on in here, you can connect it or find something equal that's going on in the United States, just like it. Just like over here, they're coming and buying the land, taking the oil, taking the diamonds, taking the gold. In America, they're doing the same thing, but they're doing it to black people as far as their talent. They're taking everything that we have, everything that we create, everything that comes from our heart and soul, and they will capitalize on it and make money. They will also capitalize on those that have not opened their eyes and decide, I'm going to go spend such and such amount on an outfit. I'm going to spend $3,000 to go out for an outfit for one night, and don't understand that how that money could be used to make more money. And I'm not blaming the white man for everything, because we all have our choices. But I'm just trying to see the parallel in between the two worlds. Just like I'm out here on this beach. And we came out here yesterday. I had to tell y'all a story about the hotel we were supposed to check into. So we came out here yesterday. Now while we out here yesterday, we looking around or whatever. So as you look around the beach, it's I believe it's high tide right now because we were way out there walking. And if you can see it, I'm gonna show y'all. And this is another parallel. A lot of people say that Africa is dirty. Oh, Africa, as what's his name? That one president that said about the shitholes and all that. So, in my mind is always going. You know, so I connect with, I'm trying hard because my mind is always going, so I'm always thinking, right? So I'm trying to explain to my wife yesterday that Africa is no different than the U.S. Actually, no different than Detroit, right? So when the beach was low tide, I'm gonna show you all the trash. All those are crab holes, little baby crabs. So when the beach was low tide, it was closed. You can see some of it now. Closed all over the place. Trash, chip bags, pop bottles, water bottles, coconuts, empty coconuts. And a lot of that you can see on the beach right now. And in my mind, I'm like, dang. Like, if this was America, this would be prime property. And, you know, they would keep it clean, and I would do this if this was my property. Then I was thinking, like, when I ride around the city of Detroit, and I'm speaking as a resident of the city, it's trash everywhere. And the same thing that I complain about, it's like people that ride down the street and throw a bottle out the window, but they bust the bottle bus, and they riding back up and down these streets every day, banging their sounds, burning rubber, doing 360s. The most ignorant shit. They'll get done, finish their McDonald's. I've been sitting at my window, just looking out the window at home, and seeing somebody drive by and throw their whole empty McDonald's meal out, the bag, the drink, everything, right in front of the house. So my thing about it is, it's the same. But you know who it is? It's not the white man or the Europeans. What they do to us is they got us, da da da. No. Or you blame the Indians or the Chinese. It's us. Ain't none of them people living on this beach. None of them people come here when they on vacation or they come to do business. The rest of this beach is kept up by the locals. And when I say kept up, I don't mean like it's their job to come clean. What I'm saying is, it's their job to take their trash, throw it in the in the proper place. There's no different than Detroit. If you riding around Detroit, why you can't pull up to the gas station and throw your trash out? You know what I do sometimes when I got trash in the car? Like, I don't care if it's like I'm leaving for work in the morning. I'll pull up in the self car wash right up to the garbage can and throw it in the garbage can. It only take a couple of seconds. But you're hollering out, you know, I love my country. Or you're hollering out, I love my city. I'm from the D, this is that. And then you trash the shit out of your own city. You trash the shit out of your own country. Us as black people, man, we got to wake up. And most of us think we woke, but we still sleep because we doing the same shit day in and day out. Stuff that don't even matter. We not coming together. And I'm like, well, what can I do? You know what I'm saying? I'm scratching my head as a black man. What can I do to make it better? And the only thing I can come up is, when I get a chance to talk to a young black man and spit some knowledge in his head, I do it. Anytime I can be a great representative of to a black youth coming up or give them some knowledge, I do it. I mean, I can't think of no other way but to try to be a better man for my people, to show them that there is a better way. Keeping my yard clean, keeping my grass cut. You know what I'm saying? Showing that, okay, this is my property. This is where I rest my head at. Let me keep it clean. I'm not about to have no car sitting out on the driveway. I'm not about to barbecue in the front yard when I got a whole backyard to sit in and relax. I don't need to be seen. When I talk to these young cats now at work and they starting out and I'm telling them, you know, invest in your 401k. I don't care if you put 3% in there of what you making. I tell them, I say, save 10% of everything you make. Because there's going to come a time in your young age, if you get used to saving 10%, by the time you 48, you my age or older, there'll be opportunities where you're going to need a big bankroll. You could be that age and say, well, dang, somebody got an offer for, let's say, 7 properties. And I mean, like I went years ago before the market was up. It was a buyer's market. And I remember in this certain white neighborhood, they had a small apartment building. It was like four units, two bedrooms, 2 1-bedroom. I could have got that for $125, but I didn't have the money because I hadn't properly saved. Now for that $125 right now is probably over $500,000 for that property. Can you imagine? Not only the amount I could have sold it for, but the amount of money I could have made off rent alone. They're out here getting it in. That's another thing that I've seen since I've been out here. Usually in the city or just in Michigan in general, when you see somebody working out, 9 times out of 10, it's not us. Here, I've seen it. I've seen them running in groups by themselves. As you saw, them working out. Him and his lady, they running. Seeing the older lady. I don't mean no harm by this heavy set lady. She was getting it in. I was even like, I'm looking at her like, y'all probably got on video. Like, damn, old girl getting it in. I wish I could run like that for more than 2 milliseconds. I'm trying to get this angle so y'all can see me. But yeah, it's been so much going on through my mind that I decided to go ahead and make a video, get it on here. But even when we in our hotels and going around, we don't run in. I haven't ran into a lot of. We've been here a week now. I haven't ran into a lot of Africans. I mean, Black Americans. Not at all. But you'll run into them in Cancun. You'll run into them in Dubai. You'll run into them everywhere else but Africa. Africa is dirty. So is the United States. You know what I don't see in Africa? Streets full of homeless people. You see that in America? Because I do. If these people out here homeless, I can't tell. You know what I do see? They not lazy. They may not be on time. That's what I've been hearing. I haven't had that experience of having anybody work for me or do anything for me. But I tell you this, if you see traffic and you see all these tuk-tuks or pajajis they call them, and the motorcycles, and they moving. When I tell you traffic is moving out here, And I see so many people carrying stuff on their head. They got stuff stacked on their car. They got bikes. They got all types of stuff that they moving. And I can't tell you if it's how much money is moving or whatever, but I tell you, they out here hustling. They got fruit stands everywhere, vegetable stands. There's people selling sugar cane. You got people selling juice, chicken, street vendors. They out here hustling, trying to provide for them and theirs. So don't let nobody. I'm firsthand, and I'm not. I'm not gonna sell. If you've been watching my channel, I'm not gonna sell you no bullshit. For real. Come be around your people. This is the first time in my life that I've been around, and it still hasn't really sunken in. Like, white people are like, for my black folks, you already know, if you go somewhere and you looking around, a lot of times if you ain't in a black neighborhood and you go outside that black neighborhood, you are a speck. And the first thing we do when we go out and we in an area like that, we start looking for other black people. It's an automatic thing. You start looking for other black people. I don't know if it's a protection thing or a safety thing, or you want to feel comfortable, or you just trying to see what's what. But if you black, you can't say you don't do it because you scan the room. You like, ooh, we the only black people here? You look around, you like, okay, I see one. That's two. And before you know it, y'all don't even have to say nothing. The other black people could be 20 tables away. Y'all make eye contact, you already know. And it's almost like you don't even know you're saying, I got you back. You ain't the only one. I see you. I acknowledge you. Love you. And you don't even know these people, but when you see them, if you out on your own, I guarantee you that love, it beat in your heart, because them your people. You never met them, probably wouldn't give them $1, but them your people. You gonna look out for them. When you in certain situations with only y'all, I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen people become close friends within 15 minutes because they were the only black people around. So it's vice versa here. The most people that I see, they on vacation just like me. Some of them are living here, don't get me wrong, because they are here. Like the brother was telling me that they had their own communities. A lot of them are gated communities or gatekeeper communities. And it's a difference between having a gate, which you keeping riffraff out. And when I say gatekeepers, I mean people that will only allow a certain race to be within that area, or which is the same in the United States. Y'all know it. There's certain areas that blacks can't buy houses in, or they gonna do everything in their power to stop you as a black person from being in that area. Before I left, my mother was like, "You been out in that sun? Looks like you getting darker." Well, Mom, when I get home, Lord Jesus. So yeah, I gotta say, I just wanted to get here on ramble. Get on here and ramble. Been so much on my mind. But it's beautiful here. I mean, and like I'm saying, beautiful to see your people, to hear them speak. A lot of them want to engage with you. Some of them will just look at you. I think some of them don't know what to do when they hear you speak. I had a brother, the one hotel we stayed at, I had a brother that I was standing by the bar. and I walked away. When I came back, I heard him telling the other brother, like, I gotta get my shoe, y'all. I got sand all on my shoe. Basically, what he was telling the other brother is, we are not the same. He is American, and we are Tanzanian. It was an older guy, probably was in his 60s, working at the bar. And my feelings was hurt. I ain't gonna lie. Even though I've heard other YouTubers talk about it and say that it's happened, I think the word they use is, they call it Muzungu. It's another word that they use in the Gambia that I've heard. And it's basically, when they say that, they call you a white man. Which to me is an insult. I can't see it no other way. But I wonder if they got like the little area where you wash sand and stuff off of you. So he said, as I was coming back, I told y'all what he said. And it was like, damn, bro, that's how you feel? So when I told my wife, she was upset. As soon as we got down, she came down. She wanted to know who it was. Where is he at? And I showed him. She gave him this old nasty look or whatever. But when I tipped him that night, yeah, I tipped him. I tipped him $1 bill, which is, you know, way more out here. So I forgot how much it was worth. It was worth, you know, it was a nice tip. You could tell because he started smiling. So even though he has that attitude that I am American and he is Tanzanian, we all know that money talk, bullshit walk. And his whole attitude changed when he got that tip. All of a sudden, it was, hey brother, how are you? Come down in the morning, brother, you all right? Brother, you want some more masa tea? This is tea they got. I gotta get the recipe for it. When I tell you it's good, but yeah, all of a sudden we buddy when that money come out. So we were supposed to get another hotel, right? So we go to the day before, which is this hotel here is down the street from the hotel we were supposed to stay at. So the day before, I said, I'm gonna go. We might as well go down here and check on the hotel. She said she had seen somebody had just left a bad review the night before. So I'm like, okay, let's just go check on the hotel. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna ask them, can I see one of the rooms? So I go in there and I ask the lady. I said, I have a reservation tomorrow, but I would like to, you know, look at one of the rooms. Y'all excuse my beard. I ain't combing out of nothing this morning. I did brush my teeth and wash my face though before I came down. So she goes, okay. She looks it up. Oh, I don't see you. I don't see you. I said, okay. So I go on to my email. I pull up the email from Expedia and I show her the number. She looks, oh no, I don't see you. So I step away from the counter. As I step away from the counter, my wife is still standing there, so I call Expedia. She asks my wife, can you please have a seat? So I'm on the phone, but I'm looking like I know my wife. I know her. So I call Expedia. I get a young lady on the phone. I tell her what's going on. She checks. She like, oh, I do see the reservation. I say, I understand it on y'all part. You see the reservation. I say, but on their part, they're saying that they don't see it. She like, oh, okay. I'll call the hotel. So I'm sitting there. Now, mind you, we are standing in the lobby so we can see everything. Looking at them. So the phone not ringing, but I'm on hold. Phone not ringing, it's not ringing, so I'm on hold. So then I see the lady, the phone ring. They pick up the phone. It's a cell phone. I'm like, man, hotel don't even have a regular phone. So anyway, they pick up the phone. First, the girl pick up the phone. She like, hello, hello. She look at the phone, put it down. Another 5-10 minutes go by. The lady gets back on with me. She said, I'm about to try it one more time. The numbers that I'm calling is not working. She do that. I see the phone ring. The guy pick it up. He like, hello, hello. I see him push the speakerphone. He like, hello. Nothing. He hangs up the phone. So I'm sitting there. She get back on the phone. She like, oh, well, I can't get in contact with anybody right now. But if you just call tomorrow, I say, ma'am, no disrespect, I say, but we are from America, and we are in a foreign country, which is true, even though this is where we from. And I said, we check out our hotel tomorrow at 12. I do not want to be walking around carrying 2 big ass suitcases and 2 big backpacks trying to figure out where we're going to stay if we come back over here and automate fireworks. I think something they use to build it. I say, we're not going to come all the way back over here, because it was like a 38 minute drive from the hotel we was at to get over here, which was dirt cheap because we took a tuk-tuk, and y'all saw the rat be riding in that. That was only like, all the rides, I think the most I paid was like $3 to $5 to get to where I was going. So, and the cheapest was like 38 cents. I mean, in their money it seems like a lot, but when I look at my account, because they have what you call Bolt over here, so you can get a motorcycle, you can get a car, or you can get tuk-tuk. So she like, oh yeah, but I can't. I say, well, okay, this is what you do. Let me speak to a manager. She put the manager on the phone. We basically went around to the same thing. No number he called, he could get an answer. So I'm like, well, he like, oh, we'll call you back in an hour. I said, no, I'm standing in the hotel lobby right now, and this lady is saying that we don't have a reservation. So he like, oh, you in the lobby? This Indian guy. I'm like, yes, I'm in the lobby looking at the lady right now. So he said, well, the numbers that we're calling, no one is answering. He said, I said, would you like me to hand you the phone so you can talk to her? He was like, please. Hand her the phone. And I say, this is Expedia. They want to talk to you. Now, mind you, I showed her my booking from Expedia when we first got there. You know what she does? Oh, you have Expedia. She puts my phone down when I hand it to her. And before she looks at the computer, she said, oh, I see you. When I tell you, from the time she said, oh, you have Expedia, I'm going to try to give y'all the same look I gave her. And I just stared at her like this. And I could see the foolishness. I ain't even going to say the devilishness. If that's a word, I'm just going to say the foolishness. Whatever she was trying to pull, or whatever BS she was on, or she just didn't want me to see that room. And they could have been, my wife said she think they was going to double charge me. But sitting here now, I'm thinking like maybe she thinking if I would have saw the room, that I would have canceled. Now, mind you, I've looked the room up on TripAdvisory. I've Googled it. I've searched it on YouTube. I found many videos. It was referred to me. I found a black couple that stayed there, gave it good reviews. Found a single lady, black lady that stayed there. She gave good reviews. I'm in a chat with people that stay. I'm in a group on WhatsApp with people that stay in Tanzania, and a black lady told me she stayed there and it was a good hotel. So at this point, I told the guy, I said, you know what? I said, she didn't want to talk to you. She set the phone down. But all of a sudden now she sees my reservation. I say, so what I want to do is I just want to cancel. So by this time, I told my wife, I said, come on. We started walk out the hotel. And as we're standing outside, he's like, oh, if you could just let me talk to her, this and that. I said, when I tried to give her the phone, she put the phone down. I said, they're in there playing games. I said, I don't know what's going on, but I tell you this, I just want a refund. Oh, well, we want to talk to the hotel first, and this and that. I said, well, I'm just going to cancel. He said, well, if you cancel, they're going to charge you the whole amount of the room. I'm like, oh, come on. I said, you know what? I said, so what happens if you cancel? He said, if I cancel it for you, it will be the first night. I'm like, cool, whatever. I say, but you know what would be nice? I say, what would be nice is you go ahead and cancel, and whatever the price of the first night is, Expedia should give me a credit for that, because it's not my fault. I booked through y'all. It's y'all responsibility to take care of the rest. He said, oh, yeah, but I'm going to try to call them, this is that. We went through this. I'm on the phone for so long, all of a sudden the phone just hang up. He never calls me back. So later on that evening, I say, well, let me call before tomorrow. Don't wait till the last minute. I get another girl, another lady. This lady, I told her what had happened. I told her what I wanted to do. She put me on hold for less than 6-7 minutes, 10 max. She came back, Mr. Cochran, I have canceled your, I've talked to the hotel, I've canceled your room, and the hotel is not charging you anything. This story was so long, y'all, I forgot what I was talking about originally. But, yeah, like I say, Africa is beautiful. You can find a lot of beautiful places to stay, a lot of good things to do. Everybody keeps telling us to go over to Zanzibar, and I think they got like the slave trade thing over there or something. People saying that we should go see. They have real nice beaches. But I will also tell you that if you've been watching this video, there's also areas of Africa that when I look at, I'm like, damn. And to myself, I had to say, it's funny that when I say the universes are parallel from the United States to here, it's just in different ways. Because just like here, I've seen places, I told my wife, I know those are my people, but it's certain areas that I wouldn't feel safe walking through. You know what I'm saying? I would be on my P's and Q's. I would be on my Detroit shit, you know what I mean? Head on the swivel, ready for anything, wish a motherfucker, type of attitude. And I say the parallel because there are certain areas in Detroit that I would not walk around in, and if I had to, I would be on my P's and Q's, head on a swivel, ready, and in the attitude as if I wish a motherfucker would. So just like people say stuff about Africa, it's this and that. Africa has two sides. or multi-sides. So does Detroit, and I can't talk about other cities. Well, I can, the places I've been. So does New Orleans. So does Chicago. You hear of so many shootings in Chicago. People still going to Chicago for vacations. People still going out there for weekend getaways and ain't having no problem. They enjoying themselves. People come, you hear about all the shootings in Detroit. People still coming out of Detroit. I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of people came from out of town to see Beyonce. People that was, neighboring states, whatever, came to see Beyonce. People come from out of town for the Red Wings games, the Pistons, Lions games, all that. So when they do come in town, a lot of them have a good time, and they gone back to their state and talk about what happened. We was in Detroit and whatever. So it's the same way here. Same way in Mexico. We've been in Mexico, being around in a resort, and most people, they say stay on the resort, this is that. We left the resort in the truck to go do our excursions. We did that. We was in the middle, I don't know if they call it the rainforest or whatever. I've been to Costa Rica. I walked around in the hood in Costa Rica. Still was on my P's and Q's of wishing I motherfucker would type in, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, Africa is no different. But people have convinced us, and you know what people I'm talking about, that Africa is unsafe. It's not, don't go there, this and that. And they put up these, when it says high alert and this and that or whatever. Man, cut it out. Cut it out. And you hearing it from the horse's mouth. Cut it out. Get over here and see Africa. I don't care what country you're going to. I don't care if you plan to save and go to what people say, go to Ghana. It's like I heard guys say Ghana is like the Atlanta of Africa. So it's just a lot going on in my mind, man. And being here on the continent is really how can I say this? My thought pattern of how I would move over here and what would I do and this and that or whatever, all that information that I had stacked up is off level now. There is all that information and all that is not solid as I thought it was. You know how you build a house on a solid base. And if the base ain't solid, everything gonna crumble. But it's a good thing, and my wife had been saying, don't do nothing until you move, until you go visit. Don't buy no land until you go visit. Don't do this until you go visit. You got to see firsthand what it's about. She ain't never lied. And I'm not saying that'll stop me from buying land in Africa. I just don't know which country. It ain't gonna stop me from the search of the not perfect but the right spot for me. But I'm glad I came, saw it for myself. I'm going on an hour of running my mouth, and I thank y'all for listening. This is my therapy. Like I say, I don't do this just for views, but this is like my free psychiatrist. So with that said, I'm about to give me a little light drink, non-alcoholic drink at the bar. I'm by the pool right now. Everything is everything. I love y'all. I'm looking for some people to come on the channel and we can just talk, kick it, do a live, see what happened, see what's on your mind, what's going on in your world. As my what's his name, Baxter would say, check out your frequency, see what your frequency is on. but I'm gonna get back at y'all. Yeah, leave some comments. I'm gonna give y'all my email address is pdiddy1222@gmail. That's pdiddy1222@gmail. I got another account, y'all, so that's my hood account. So y'all cut it out. Like, really? But yeah, contact me if you want to come on, and I'll try to set up something. If you have any show things that you want me to talk about, or any questions, leave it in the comments, and I'll try to get the answer. But please share the video, share my channel with your friends, family, co-workers. We trying to get to reach not even 1,000 people, but reach as many people as we can, and hopefully be a blessing. So I'll holler at y'all. Love y'all.